Welcome back to CityLine. Well, it's springtime in Tacoma, and nothing says springtime, even getting into summer after Memorial Day weekend, than our farmers markets. So please join me in welcoming Anika Moran. She is the Executive Director of Tacoma's Farmers Market. Hey, welcome to my kitchen.
Oh, thank you, Amanda.
So am I in your library?
You are my library, study, work area, work from home,
It looks good. Boy, but these backgrounds have just taken on a whole new meaning, haven't they? So how long have you served as the Executive Director of Tacoma's Farmers Market?
I just took over in this role on March 1st. Prior to that, I'd been the program manager and the operations director, but I didn't step into the executive director role until March.
Wow. So I love that you have some teeth in this, as we say, some skin in the game. You've been on the ground, seeing it evolve and seeing it move, and now you're at the top, looking down, keeping everything going. So what inspired you to take this position?
After a couple years working with Tacoma Farmers Market and almost 10 years of farming on my own prior to that, I just feel very committed to supporting local farms and equitable food access in Tacoma, and this seemed like the right role at the right time.
Boy, you could not have said something more beautiful if you tried. Supporting food and local access. Every time I go for a walk, I cry because I run across the free food tables.
Mm-hmm.
And I think nothing says love more than homegrown food that people can have access to. Now, the farmers market, known as the Broadway Tacoma Farmers Market, that's one farmers market, Anika, but you oversee, I think it's 5, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. So we also have the East Side Market, which is opening on June 2nd over on 35th and McKinley. The Point Ruston Market, which is opening on June 7th at Point Ruston. The Multi-Care Market, which is opening in August. And this year we are launching the Fresh Express mobile market and home delivery service in response to COVID-19 and also in response to food access issues in our community.
God, you heard it first right here on CityLine. So can you share with us, when does the mobile access start up?
Actually, tomorrow we're doing our very first home deliveries. I'm really excited. We are doing home deliveries to older adults and immune compromised people to start. And then we're going to be picking some mobile market sites in primarily East and South Tacoma, working with our community partners to identify which neighborhoods need it most.
Do you think of everything? Yes, you do.
I wish.
I am so touched by that because it's just, for those of us that have senior citizens that are staying in, but they love to go to the farmers market and to just be a part of that beautiful energy, the food, the flowers, the smells, for it to be a small slice of it to be brought to them that's Tacoma strong together, and that's beautiful. I love that. So let's talk about, thank goodness that farmers markets are deemed essential. So let's talk about how do we protect our vendors and our customers, Anika, during this pandemic?
Yeah, so we have a lot of new requirements for both vendors and shoppers. We're requiring our vendors to wear masks and gloves, to provide as contactless free a payment system as possible. We have everybody with either hand sanitizer or hand washing stations at their booths, and they're distancing the booths at least 10 feet apart. On the customer end, we actually, as of this Thursday, are starting to require masks of our customers as well. We will have masks for low-income shoppers who can't afford them to just give away. Everybody else should come prepared with a mask and also come prepared to shop quickly and shop safely. So we're asking folks not to linger, no consuming food and drink at the market. Just get your groceries, say hi to your farmers. I promise everyone can see your smile behind your mask, and then get on home and be safe.
I love that. And I loved how beautifully you laid that out, because we need that, because the farmers market before Corona was a place to get your social needs done too. It was a place to come down at lunchtime. I'm talking about the Broadway one, and have a great lunch. Sometimes the fountain was going, there was music. But because of the pandemic, those kinds of activities cannot happen because it's not safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we do still have our prepared food vendors, so you can still get food to go. You know, we still have the amazing grilled cheese sandwiches. Jan Parker will be joining us in June. We even have new vendors at the market this year. So you can still do your normal shopping and your normal food to go for lunch. We just can't have any lingering at the market.
That makes total sense. So let's talk about, for somebody perhaps who has not been down to the Broadway Farmers Market, give us an overview of what we can get, and then tell us about a new vendor this year.
So most of our normal farmers are still there. So you can find Zestful Gardens with their incredible greens and radishes and salad turnips and rhubarb. Sadu Farms is also there with their rhubarb and jam. We have Taylor's Honey. We have the whole array of our normal farms still. We also have some new processors as well as returning processors. So you can find some really incredible Tacoma made barbecue sauce, low sodium seasoning salt, red beans mix for red beans and rice. It is so good. And then Oli Kraut is here, and we have a new vendor joining us this week called Splat Hot Sauce. And they're based out of Olympia, but they source from local farms, and they have some of the hottest hot sauce I have ever had, but you can still taste the pepper. So it is amazing. It is delicious. So I would recommend checking out any of those vendors, as well as the many others, the mozzarella, the prepared food. It's all good. You can't go wrong.
And I have to put a plug in, because it's just, I close my eyes and there it is, flowers.
Yes. Absolutely. Our flower farmers are still there, offering bouquets $5 and up, the most gorgeous flowers you can find around.
And then in the past, we've also had some beautiful cottage industries, candles, soaps. I have found some of the best Christmas presents in terms of earrings and things. Will that still exist?
So right now, farmers markets are not allowed to have many of those different types of vendors. We do still have hygiene products, so you can still find a lot of the soaps and even hand sanitizer from some of those local crafters. You can find masks at the market as well, in case you don't come prepared or you need to pick some up for someone else. But the rest of the like jewelry and leather goods and paintings and that sort of stuff, we hope will join us later in the season, but can't join us quite yet.
Absolutely. So we want to shop at the Tacoma Farmers Market. We're going to, but we also want to minimize touching things. And that's like asking a kid not to touch in a farmer's market. I mean, it's like a kid in the candy store, because that's why we go to farmers markets. So especially in terms, Anika, of exchanging money. So is it possible to prepay online, or do we just pick them up, or do we wear gloves? Give us some guidance here about how to avoid that dirty money.
Yeah, so vendors are doing a number of different things. Some of them are offering pre-order and prepayment. You can contact any of our vendors. If you go to our website, tacomafarmersmarket.com, you can find which vendors are going to be there every single week, and you can reach out to them and find out if they're offering that for you. And then at the market itself, many of our vendors have devised some pretty clever little ways to not touch your stuff and not have you touch theirs. So I've seen vendors with basically like a pool cue and a cafeteria tray, and they just kind of shove out their square reader to you. You put your card in, nobody touches anything. So there's some clever ways happening at the market to provide that contactless payment.
I love that, because we have to protect our farmers too. I mean, we have to protect all of us. That being said, as we start reopening, and again, this is an essential service, but as we start having more people attend our farmers markets, will they be taking temperatures? Will there be any questionnaires? Or will it just be wear your mask and do what you said, have just a small amount of time there, get your items, and then get back home and eat them?
Yeah, so right now we are doing health checks for our vendors and our staff. As of now, we are not doing them for shoppers, but we are limiting the number of shoppers who can be in the market at any one time in order to enforce social distancing. So on Broadway, what that means is we're asking people to enter the market on 11th and exit on 9th. So there's more of a one-way flow of shopping through the market. We are also instituting a line if necessary in order to maintain the maximum number of shoppers in a safe market at any given time.
Oh, excellent. I love that. So you've kind of just thought about it for us, so we can just go up with our mask and our bag and our card or prepay online, and then just go through, make our list, and then move on, and then come back next week.
Absolutely, yes.
So last question, because I love the fact that I can go down to the farmer's market and I can pretty much make a full dinner from what I see down there. So you that has the crystal ball and you're always seeing what's being laid out ahead of time, what do you recommend that I select for my dinner tonight?
So I would go for some of the sausage from Billfold Farm. It is delicious pork sausage raised locally just up on the Kitsap Peninsula. I would also go for some of the hot sauce from either Splat or Oli Kraut, and vegetables from any of our farmers. So Zestful Gardens, Pink Moon, Amador, Aguilar, they're all gonna have something that you can just chop right up and make into a delicious little stir fry or saute. Super easy, super simple, and delicious and local.
And you forgot my favorite course, dessert.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about dessert. Okay, so we have butter cake at the market right now. If you have never had butter cake, you have to come down this Thursday. The vendor is called One Crafty Cat, and I have never had anything like it before. I pick some up for myself every week and give myself a stomach ache every Thursday night after the Broadway market. It is well worth it, so I recommend them. We also have kettle corn if you're looking for something a little lighter, cookies, all that jazz. We have it.
Oh, you are a woman after my own heart. Butter cake? That sounds like something I could have for every meal.
Yes. I've tried. Be warned.
I love that. I want to say thank you so much for saying yes to being on CityLine and saying yes to being our new executive director. You have, pardon the pun, a lot on your plate. So we have a date. Let's say, how about midsummer, to check back in and to see how our farmers markets are doing, how well we are doing as customers with compliance, and also see what new vendors we've added back in as the virus has dictated. But I want to say thank you to you and your amazing team, and also to your board president, RMA, who just hits it in the park every single moment of her life. So thank you, my dear, so much for being here.
Thank you.
We have much more to come on CityLine. Don't go away. We'll be right back.